God tends to place so much premium on knowledge. So it's only in the knowledge of God that we get to find out ourselves. And so to the extent to which we do know God, to that extent we find out ourselves.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. The extent to which we know ourselves, that extent is the way we go to know God. Like you said, sir, this scripture is a little bit scary because God is saying you have rejected knowledge, and I'll also reject you from being a priest for me.
Yeah.
In other words, if you don't seek knowledge to know me enough, I don't want you to be leading. So, I mean, can you say anything to this effect when we speak in terms of leadership within the church?
Leadership is quite a very sensitive area. And because essentially leaders are like priests, person standing in for God. And so for God, he's all-knowing. To the extent there's something is referred to as a spirituality of leadership. You can't lead beyond the extent of who you are in God. And the extent of who you are in God goes a long way to determine how you lead people. And so the leadership style of each and every leader out there will always be a function of their depth of knowledge as to the person of God. And to that extent, they're able to lead. It's possible leading men in the path to hell. You recall, sir, in Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 to 23, particularly from the Message translation, the one that struck me the most. He said, I will just say to you, that's the concluding verse, I will just say to you, get out of this place. I never knew you. All you did was to making me, in other words, taking advantage of me to making yourself important. So we have a whole lot of leaders out there who don't know God, or they are eager to go into leadership. They are leading men to hell. But the persons they lead don't have an understanding of it. The funny part of it is that God will eventually be the one at a loss when you have incompetent leaders lead men. Because the people under you don't know to the extent of which you do know God. Or they just assume that as a priest you do know God. But the question now will be this. As a member of the congregation or as a subordinate, to what extent should I apply or seek premium when it comes to my safety as I serve under a man? Spirituality and leadership by a man's character and attitude. No. I can't be a leader, for instance, over a group of persons, and I do know God. And I said I want to go to heaven. And I'm also advising the persons under me to go to heaven. And I began to feed them with meals that will take them to heaven. That becomes a problem. That's why God said, I will reject you, including your children.